saying that through all these thoughts, O Lord, and you have brought us. What we are saying is that to you all glory and we commit this gathering unto your hands, O Lord. Continue to be the Lord over our lives. Prosper the works of our hands and let it be well with us. In Jesus.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siakwa. We believe strongly that the Lord Almighty will be with us. An annual general meeting is a yearly gathering of the company's interested shareholders. And at this meeting, directors of the company present the company's financial and operational performance, and shareholders vote on the issues at hand. It also allows the various stakeholders a mixture of or exchange of ideas and also identify certain weak zones. And then also it helps the organization in going forward. It also helps the various stakeholders to express what they want the company or the direction of the company. And it's an important aspect of corporate governance as it brings to the notice all the necessary changes that are required for growth, that are required for performance, that are also required for the good running of the organization. That is why every year we want to have our annual general meeting. It is also held in compliance with the Companies Act 2019, that is Act 992. Today's meeting is in two parts. We have the first part, which is the plenary session, and I would be the moderator for the plenary session. And then we have the business session, and the business session will look more at the financial highlights and the operational performance of the company. And that will be moderated by the CEO of Chamber, Mr. Mark. Before I invite the president to give us his welcome address, I want to introduce those who are on the right. On my far right is the CEO of the chamber. Next to him is a good friend of mine. He's the chief director of the Ministry of Trade. Thank you for coming. He's representing the Minister for Trade and Industry. Next to him is the President, Mr. Clement. Next to our president is the National Treasurer. So she will tell us today what she's doing. So this is Dr. Emilia Isiakwa. Thank you very much. I'll now call on the president of the chamber, Mr. Clement Osamwaku, to give us the welcome address.
Thank you, Mr. Akko. I think today is a beautiful day. I can see all of you. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Gncci, represented by the Chief Director, Mr. Patrick, the Chief Executive Officer of the Private Enterprise Federation, Daniel Sabuns, who is also joining us by Zoom, member of the Diplomatic Corps, representative of the business associations, collaborating partners, distinguished members of Gncci, distinguished businessmen and women, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the media. Good morning once again. It is my singular honor to welcome you all to the 45th Annual General Meeting of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry under the theme, Building Synergies for a Resilient Economy Post-COVID-19, the Role of the Private Sector. On behalf of the Governing Council, National Executives, members of staff, and the Chamber, let me take this unique opportunity to express our profound gratitude to Honorable Alan Gncci for his acceptance as a guest of honor and also to Nana Osei-Bonsu, the Chief Executive Officer of the Private Enterprise Federation, for honoring our invitation as a guest speaker for this occasion. Exactly a year ago, the current national officers of the GNCCI were elected into office to steer the affairs of the chamber. And we are gathered here today to give account of our stewardship as enshrined in the constitution of the chamber. I must say that the commitment of my fellow national officers, the governing council, central executive members, committee members, and all other committees also shows the inclusiveness of everybody. It's commendable and encourages us to reach greater heights. Can I accept my sincere appreciation? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a review of the Ghanaian economy in 2020 highlights the impact of the global economic and health disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ghanaian economy recorded a drastic slowdown in growth of 0.9% in 2020 compared to 6.5% in 2019. The service sector was severely affected, owing the contraction in the hotel and restaurants, trade, repairs of vehicle, and household goods subsectors. The year-on-year inflation rate rose from 7.9% in December 2019 to 10.4% in December 2020. The average lending rate followed a similar downward trend from 23.6% in 2019 to 21.07% in 2020. The yield and treasury bill declined marginally in 2020 by 1.2% from 14.7% in 2019 to 13.5% in 2020. This translated into some improvement in private sector credit growth in 2020. Ghana's economic growth is projected to moderate between 4% to 4.1% in 2021 and 2022, respectively. Government response to the pandemic, in consultation with the stakeholders, including the GNCCI, has been exceptional and resulted in a number of initiatives, including but not limited to the provision of stimulus package, Ghana COVID-19 alleviation and revitalization of enterprises support, that is the Obantapake, ease of transactions and waiver or reduction of online transaction charges, and 1.5% decrease in the policy rate. We are optimistic that government's recovery strategies, which have mainly focused on fiscal, monetary, and financial support measures, as well as the exchange rate and balance of payment, will help improve a resilient economy and build back a better Ghana. Despite the challenges brought by the pandemic, and in line with its mandate of promoting and protecting commercial and industrial interests of our great country, the Chamber adopted innovative ways of engaging its members and the business community in 2020. And I'm excited to share with you some of the major activities. To assist member firms and the business community navigate through the pandemic, the Chamber undertook a business survey in April 2020 to elicit their concern and expectations. This provided empirical evidence to effectively engage with the government and other stakeholders in designing and implementing policy recommendations to economic rebound. The Chamber undertook training webinars and COVID-19 with focus on the following topics: strategies for building survival and growth, financing options to stimulate local production, and refinancial re-engineering in times of crisis. The aim was helping building the capacity of GNCCI member firms by equipping them with the requisite knowledge and skills from industry experts, academic, the policymakers in order to survive the pandemic and stay resilient. In addition, the Chamber conducted a hybrid sensitization workshop on AFTA with focus of adopting the right business strategies to fully benefit from after. The workshop helped provide requisite knowledge to enable the business community to participate in the trade agreement. The workshop also provided new market access opportunity for businesses. Targeted workshops were organized to enable members appreciate and interrogate government policies and programs. In particular, members were taken through the 2021 national budget through hybrid workshop under the theme Prospect for Recovery, Resilience, and Competitiveness for the Private Sector Growth. The workshop allowed experts and business operators to appreciate and interrogate government policies and programs contained in the 2021 national budget, as well as explore inherent risks and business opportunities thereof. The Chamber held a special session with the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority to allow businessmen and women to interact, share ideas, and establish business relationships with the GRA. Finally, the GNCCI held 2 business fora this year. The first being the Chamber CEO Business Forum, which provided a high-level platform for CEOs, entrepreneurs, industry experts, and policymakers to deliberate on topical issues and make policy recommendations for the sustainable growth and development of business in our great country, as well as to explore new business partnerships. The Chamber SME Business Forum was also organized to reassess strategies critical to charting the path towards building SME competitiveness via business value, resilience, and sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chamber signed an MOU with 2 key partners, the Indian High Commission in Ghana and the Federation of Egyptian Chamber of Commerce, to boost trade. However, most of the planned trade fairs, exhibitions, and missions were either canceled or postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the associated ban on foreign travels and local gatherings. Nonetheless, virtual meetings were held to facilitate and boost trade. Other services provided by the Chamber included the business-to-business meeting, business tours, business advocacy, export development, and trade facilitation. Staff development is very critical to the success of this chamber in an effort to train and retain staff to effectively deliver on their mandates. Various in-house training programs were organized across the regional chambers. To strengthen the relationship between the chamber and its key stakeholders, the national officers paid courtesy call on several institutions, among which are the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Ministry of Business Development, Bank of Ghana, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the National Board for Small Scale Industry, that is now the Ghana Enterprise Agency, National Development Planning Commission, NDPC, and the Private Enterprise Federation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can you permit me to highlight some of the business support initiatives that have been undertaken? The GNCCI Business Pulse. This project focuses on mobilizing business diagnostic data to inform bottom-up decisions on government policies and programs. In collaboration with the BUSAC Fund, the Chamber organized a stakeholder workshop on the GNCCI Business Pulse to discuss and research findings and policy recommendations critical for business and industry growth, value, resilience, and sustainability. In addition, it organized a 3-day residential retreat with stakeholders towards reaching consensus and building synergies through the Chamber Business Pulse to provide continuous business and diagnostic data for policy innovation, as well as monitor business performance. The Chamber is currently working to officially launch a GNCCI Business Pulse in December 2021. It is also exploring innovative ways of ensuring continuous updates of the data, as well as engaging stakeholders at different levels to formalize discussions. Further, the Chamber looks forward to inaugurating the GNCCI SME Index Committee and Governance Board to provide overall support to attain a goal of the GNCCI Business Pulse. The GNCCI Credit Union. The GNCC Credit Union, which was launched in October 2019, is growing steadily with a membership of 351, comprising 27 staff, 96 chamber members, 228 non-chamber members. The union started with shares of about 100,000 from the chamber, but recently have a total shares of 217,791.10. The total savings of the credit union currently stands at 619,717.82 Ghana cedi. Total loans advanced so far is 283,929.22 Ghana cedi. Members and staff of the chamber have been advanced a total loan amounting to 140,709.45, whilst 140,219.77 has been advanced to non-chamber members. The credit union continues to advance loans at a very competitive interest rate to members. We encourage interested members and the general public to join with a minimum share price of 300 Ghana cedis. Now, deepening the industry academia linkage. The chamber has signed an MOU with Regent University College of Science and Technology, in addition to several MOUs with tertiary institutions to explore new opportunities of bridging the industry academia gap within the broad strategy of promoting and protecting commercial and industrial interests of our great country. Through these MOUs, the chamber and the respective parties commit to establish and create a broad framework of collaboration in the areas of research and innovation, training and development, and industry academia cooperation to support entrepreneur and enterprise development. The head office building. The chamber commissioned the GNCCI head office facility search committee on September 2021 to acquire a new head office. This became necessary due to government decision to construct a dual carriage road, which could possibly affect the site on which the chamber has earmarked for the construction of the head office. The committee has identified a property and due diligence is being done to ensure value for money. That is hopeful. We are very hopeful due course we can announce gotten one for chamber. Extending the coverage of chamber services. As part of the effort to bring our services to the doorstep of the business community across the country, the chamber inaugurated the Koforidua Regional Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is to ensure that their unique needs are adequately attended to. Currently, interim executives have been appointed to steer the affairs of the regional chamber until elections are held to elect substantive executives into the future. The GNCCI trade indices and data derivatives project to ensure Ghana's participation in the trade agreement. In this era of the fourth industrial revolution with focus on digitalization and technology, data remains critical to our country, industrialization drive. Consequently, the chamber is championing this project to mobilize diagnostic data to promote Ghana industrialization and diversification agenda for enhanced participation in the trade agreements. The project will seek to model standard trade data into real-time information and data derivatives on trade flow determinants and the efficiency of those flows, as well as other quick indices that capture the diversification and non-traditional commodities. In addition, the research will cover 6 industries, 11 export products, 7 import products, and 10 export and import markets. The corporate social responsibility. Following a call by the government to corporate bodies and individuals to support government efforts in combating the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, the chamber donated an amount of 100,000 Ghana cedis to the COVID-19 fund at the presidency. The check was presented at the Jubilee House by selected executives of the chamber, led by the immediate past president, Napia Dayton Council Defense. The GNCCI ADR Center. The ADR Center set up by the chamber in partnership with the Gami ADR Center continues to provide services to help members and the entire business community in the area of negotiation and business contracts, as well as to resolve business and commercial disputes. However, patronage of these bespoke services is low, and I call on members and the business community to take full advantage of the opportunity without hassling at the law courts. Visitations, business and industrial tours. We made regular visits to the regions to stay abreast with issues and also get first-hand information on some of the challenges facing the regional chambers. In addition, we undertook business and industrial tour to allow the chamber to understand issues affecting businesses, assist in addressing those issues, and encourage best business practices. Some of the businesses visited included Amin Sangari Industries, Central Oil Mills Limited and Center for Awareness Creation, Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, Diamond Cement and Dress Up College of Fashion, and Zonda Tech Ghana. Enhancing research and advocacy and business advocacy. The Chamber has commissioned the GNCCI Policy and Advocacy Advisory Committee, as well as the GNCCI Trade Sector Leaders Committee, to support the Chamber-led role as the foremost business advocacy organization in the country. The committees are currently involved in mobilizing relevant empirical data and conducting technical analysis to inform the design and implementation of policy dialogues and stakeholders engagements. Ladies and gentlemen, the AFTA has created enormous opportunity for Africa and the world. It is the largest free trade area in the world in terms of participating countries since the formation of the World Trade Organization. It connects 1.3 billion people across Africa with a combined GDP valued about 3.5 trillion US dollars, with a potential of lifting 30 million people out of extreme poverty. And I believe that we have to work hard to make sure that AFTA succeeds. However, Ghana has made significant progress towards harnessing the benefit of AFTA, as noted by the Minister of Trade and Industry. The progress has largely focused on enhancing industrial productive capacity, trade facilitation, trade-related infrastructure, access to finance, trade information, trade policy, and trade policy. In addition, there has been a national institutional support structure for AFTA, which has led to the setup of the Interministerial Facilitation Committee, a National AFTA Coordinating Office, a National AFTA Steering Committee, and technical working groups. Currently, 5 distinguished industry experts from the Chamber are serving on the various committees under the Ministry of Trade and Industry as technical working group for implementing Ghana's national program of action for boosting inter-African trade under the AFTA. Whilst working on actualizing the objective of the AFTA, there is an urgent need to address the issues of across-border trade, such as high operational charges, lack of infrastructure, bureaucracy, inefficiency, high transaction costs, and moving goods across the borders, lack of harmonization within the regions, a little or no cooperation between carriers, as in the case of air cargo. In this regard, the Chamber will work closely with the Federation of West Africa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FEWASI, in operationalization of the Sea-Link project to support trade. The Chamber calls on the government to work with the key stakeholders, including the Chamber, to provide targeted technical, financial, and infrastructure support to building competitiveness of enterprises and industries. Through the GNCCI Business Force, the Chamber will leverage its synergistic relationship with stakeholders to continuously track, monitor, and enhance Ghana's performance in terms of industrial productive capacity, trade facilitation, trade-related infrastructure, access to finance, trade information, and trade policy. In conclusion, on behalf of the entire members of the Chamber, let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the business community, various local and international institutions who are here today with us, and who have also supported and collaborated with the GNCCI in the promotion and protecting the private sector interest in our great country. Your infringing support to the growth of the private sector, I say, are you cool? Let's build Ghana together. We can do it by God's grace. Long live the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Long live the private sector of Ghana. And long live Ghana. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clement Osamuakun, for your welcome address. You can see that we have some additions on the high table. On the extreme right is the immediate past president of the chamber, Nana Dr. Apiaje Dankawusu. Nana, you are welcome. And then to my immediate right is a past president of the chamber, Mr. Seth Ajay. If you don't know the name Ajay, you can call him Shaba. We have some regional chairmen here with us, and I'd want to acknowledge the presence of the Accra chairman, Nana Ejeni Mwate. I'd also want to acknowledge the presence of the Tema chairman, Mr. Isaac Barry. Then I want to acknowledge the presence of the Cape Coast chairman, Mr. Pukwekins. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Kumasi chairman, Stephen Achampong. And then the secondary Takrady chairman, Mr. Maxwell Acha. Takwa chairman, Mr. Alexander Biong. The WAD chairman, Alaji Idris Usafo. And then the Kufuridua chairman, Mr. Henry Oche Wache. We have close to about 36 council members. So if you're a council member and you are here, please, let's see you rise up for acknowledgement. The council members. I don't want to call all of you by name. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming. I want to acknowledge the presence of a couple of dignitaries who are here with us. From the Embassy of the Kingdom of Morocco, Mr. Abderrahim Shirab. Okay. They want to see you. You are seated. They want you to get up so that they can see you. Yeah. Thank you very much. We want to acknowledge Dr. Richard Fusu from the UPSA. And then we want to acknowledge Mr. S.E.M. Sagri from the Embassy of Burkina Faso. From the Republic of Turkey, the Trade Counselor, the Commercial Counselor, is Mr. Bugra Karamis. From the Embassy of Mexico in Ghana, the Ambassador Enrique Escoza. And then from the Embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Adel Abdullahi. Thank you all very much for coming. Our guest speaker for today will join us via Zoom. So if he's I should say, he start getting ready, we'll call him soon to join us so that he can give us his address. When we look in the annual report that has been given to us, we have received some solidarity messages. So we have received solidarity message from the Association of Ghana Industries. So if the representative is here, please let's acknowledge your presence. From AGI. Anybody from AGI? Okay, from the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, if you are here, thank you very much for coming. And from the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. I haven't seen Dr. Bing. Okay. Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Ghana Investment Promotion Center. The Chamber of Mines. And then the Private Enterprise Foundation. We have a rep here. Thank you very much. Our guest speaker for today's meeting is the Chief Executive Officer of the Private Enterprise Federation in the person of Nana Osei-Bonsu. And Nana Osei-Bonsu will join us via Zoom. So if you're ready, the technical team is ready. Please let's have Nana Osei-Bonsu give us a speech.
Good morning. Do you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We are ready for your speech.
Okay. Okay, so should I go ahead and start? Thank you. Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament present, the president and members of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, representatives of the Private Enterprise Federation member associations chambers, representatives of other trade and business associations, media practitioners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me first and foremost congratulate the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, GNCCI, on the occasion of your 45th annual general meeting today. As one of the founding fathers of the Private Enterprise Federation, the Chamber has continuously provided its support for the execution of respective activities of PEF, and we look forward to a greater working relationship with the GCCI in the future. Mr. Chairman, the impact of COVID-19 on the private sector and indeed the entire society is evidence for all of us to see. The loss of lives, the loss of livelihood incomes, businesses shutting down, disruptions to various supply chains, increase in the prices of commodities, and loss of revenue to government give importance to the theme of this year's annual general meeting heading Building Synergies for a Resilient Economy Post-COVID-19, the Role of the Private Sector. Mr. Chairman, the widespread impact of COVID-19 calls for all actors to find innovative approaches to partnerships and find solutions to the impact of COVID-19. For sustained economic development, the private sector needs space to unleash entrepreneurial potential through creativity and flexibility for innovative solutions. Additionally, Mr. Chairman, recent calls by the then senior minister and the current finance minister for graduates to consider setting up their own businesses due to the unavailability of employment opportunities in the public sector reinforces the need for synergies and partnerships to ensure an effective and smooth functioning of the private sector. Mr. Chairman, despite the negative impact of COVID-19 on business operations in Ghana and elsewhere, the pandemic presents infinite opportunities for survival and retooling towards recovery from its onslaught. Ghana's successful recovery from the impact of the pandemic and enhancement of livelihoods is likely hinged and predicated on the profitability of the private sector. Mr. Chairman, to build synergies between the private sector, public sector, civil society, academia, and the media, actors along these sectors will have to understand their roles and operate in those areas effectively as partners. The situation where public sector institutions compete with private sector institutions within the business space is unhealthy and should be curtailed as quickly as possible. Similarly, Mr. Chairman, there's the need to relook at our tertiary educational system to ensure students are well equipped with both practical skills and theoretical knowledge needed by the industries. There was a mention in the presentation by the president of GCCI about partnership with academia. The partnership between private sector and academia should include avenues for mentorship sessions for students and a mandatory, and let me emphasize, a mandatory 3 months internship sessions for each academic year at tertiary institutions to be undertaken at specific industries. This should form part of the academic assessment of grading, with company technical people and supervisors playing key roles in inculcating requisite skills in these future generation of experts and assessing the students' capabilities and capacities during this period. It is very critical that industry plays a key role so far as training programs and capacity enhancement for our future generation. Mr. Chairman, we suggest that the private sector and academic institutions explore the possibilities of using local business case studies that reflect local experiences instead of foreign examples that do not resonate well within our local environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the creation of a robust investment climate equipped with key resources and abundant opportunities specifically tailored to lift the local businesses to become profitable, scale up to the next levels, and grow to create jobs should be the guiding principles of a future resilient economy. The current investment policies to all and sundry to come, invest, and take back 100% of profit margins without any limitations or encumbrances have not worked well to boost our local economy to grow and take care of our growing youth. In addition, Mr. Chairman, Ghana should consider a review of the open policy where foreigners are allowed to repatriate 100% of proceeds from their respective business operations in Ghana. To ensure that other sectors of the economy do not suffer decline, we recommend that this government and successive governments should consider the introduction of a policy that will require these foreign-owned businesses with tax exemptions, these tax exemptions are government revenues that are being forgiven. Reinvest these tax exemptions, at least 25% of their yearly annual profits into sectors of the economy unrelated to the core sectors of the foreign direct investors. Furthermore, this unlimited amounts of repatriation of profit margins without any structured timetable has resulted on numerous occasions eroding the value to our local currency against their foreign counterparts. What some consider the cedi gyrating like spaghetti in the wind. On investment policy front again, let's review the tax exemptions to FDIs. Continue to offer them to attract investment, but rather offer the exemptions to only foreign investors who partner with local businesses operating in specific sectors of the economy to boost our abilities to sustain our development. After all, the Ghana Beyond Age should be a clarion call to safeguard our resources as well. Mr. Chairman, the current financing schemes available to private sector are not business friendly at all. Interest rates are very high, coupled with short-term nature of these debt facilities offered by the financial institutions. The creation of a long-term, low-cost pool of funds generated from avenues such as the pension funds, insurance industry, heritage funds, and others will ensure the availability of much-needed capital for private investments. Ladies and gentlemen, to make it easy for businesses to comply with and its partners, recommend the introduction of a tiered tax system with 1 to 1.5% tax rate on the annual turnover of small, medium enterprises within certain categories, rather than the current one-size-fits-all system. Thorough research by the Federation has established the basis for this much needed tax reform, which is being embraced and practiced by our neighboring competitors. Mr. Chairman, Ghana has a huge housing deficit, which needs urgent attention. That the private and public sector could explore opportunities of providing needed tools and resources for young unemployed Ghanaians to venture into the provision of houses made from bricks from clay. Ghana is blessed with great amount of natural clay, which exists in almost every region. We can leverage on this free raw material to create a great booming housing industry by converting the abundant clay into a brick industry and subsequently. Mr. Chairman, building with clay brick reduces the impact of natural resource consumption and offers enormous temperature control benefits, a climate-smart SDG endeavor. It is therefore estimated that by using clay in building construction, we can reduce the cost of building by at least 40%. The same clay can be used to construct most of the inner city streets to reduce overspeeding on our roads, which will reduce serious accidents and carnage on our roadways. A trip to the research center of the Building Road Research Institute of the CSIR will confirm these opportunities. Mr. Chairman, agriculture is a major sector for the people of Ghana. Enhancing agricultural production will be a panacea to increase agro-processing in Ghana. It is important that both public and private sector explore avenues to enhance the participation of private sector in respective national initiatives like the Planting Food and Jobs. One major way of doing this is the creation of private sector-led national agribusiness the go-to inclusive institution facilitate the participation of local agribusiness players in the lucrative agribusiness sector. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 has taught us many things as a country. It's important to focus on finding homegrown solutions that will limit our dependency on outside resources. Finding and strengthening synergies is key to our drive towards building a resilient economy post-COVID-19 pandemics. On behalf of the members of the Private Enterprise Federation and my good self and chairman, I wish the GNCCI a successful annual general meeting and let us all endeavor to observe the protocols to save each other. Long live GCCI, long live Private Enterprise Federation.
Thank you very much, Nana Osebonsu, for your inspiring speech. Before we take the remarks of our guest of honor, I would want to acknowledge the presence of the chairperson of the African Private Review Summit, Mr. J. Wendell Addy. Where are you? A lot of us saw him last week. And then we have in our midst the ambassador of the Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia, Marshal Al-Rogi. He was here very early. He says he has an urgent appointment, so we had to bring him back so that I acknowledge him before he leaves. Right. So thank you very much for coming back. And then the commercial counselor from the Embassy of Egypt, Ahmed Tarek. And then from the Embassy of Japan in Ghana, Hiroki Ogita. I think she stepped out. And then from the Embassy of the Czech Republic, Dominic Amwa. Thank you very much. Our guest of honor for today is the Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin. But he's not here with us. He has delegated the Chief Director of the Ministry, Mr. Patrick Nimo, to read his address. So I would want to invite Mr. Nimo to come and read the address on behalf of the Minister. Please, let's give him a hand as he comes.
Thank you to my classmates. The President and Council members of the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, former President of the Chamber, members of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of government, representatives of partner institutions and business associations, captains of industry, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me express our profound appreciation of the Honorable Minister, to the President and Council members of the Chamber for the invitation extended to him to join you as a special guest of this 45th Annual General Meeting. Mr. Chairman is regrettably unable to join you this morning, but he's here with you in spirit. This is his home. He's attended so many annual general meetings. He's almost a member of your council. Mr. President, your annual general meetings have a reputation for thought-provoking themes. This year's theme, building synergies for a resilient economy post-COVID-19, the role of the private sector, in particular resonates with the challenging yet exciting times we find ourselves in, and serves as a poignant reminder that the private sector is and will always be at the vanguard of harnessing opportunities for recovery and revitalization. In Ghana, the COVID-19 pandemic sharply reminded us of the wisdom of our Ghana Beyond Aid vision. A Ghana that is prosperous and stands on its own feet. A Ghana that is beyond dependence on others. A Ghana that is industrialized and established as an industrial hub for the goods and services and the trade in goods and services. This was aptly demonstrated during the height of the pandemic, when global supply chains were suddenly disrupted, affecting access to essential commodities, particularly personal protective equipment and personal care goods. Local companies mobilized and were mobilized by government to produce PPEs and alcohol-based sanitizers for use by frontline health workers, students, teachers, as well as the general public. Thank you. I've done the double vaccine, so. Under the Coronavirus Business Support Program, funds were dispersed by the Ghana Enterprise Agency, now then NBSSI, to micro and small enterprises to mitigate the adverse effects of the pandemic on distressed Ghanaian businesses. Mr. President, as you chart the way forward at this AGM for the Chamber and its members, permit me also to highlight a number of major developments in industrial transformation that may frame the context of your discussions on government's catalytic role in enhancing the private sector's contribution to building synergies for a resilient post-COVID economy. Mr. President, it's an undeniable fact that most countries that have achieved economic growth and transformation on a significant scale over the years have done so on the back of industrialization. You recall that it's against this background that on the assumption of office of government in 2017, the Ministry of Trade launched a 10-point plan for industrial transformation with the strategic objective of making Ghana a manufacturing hub for Africa. In this regard, that putting in place a supportive ecosystem has been our utmost priority. As you are aware, the various components of the industrial transformation plan seeks to address some of the critical challenges confronting the private sector. The components I'll mention very briefly include facilitating access to medium and long-term capital for industrial development, including but not limited to providing stimulus packages, implementing the One District, One Factory initiative, under which government supports the private sector to establish medium to large-scale industrial enterprises in the districts. The development of strategic anchor industries as new pillars of growth for the Ghanaian economy, including petrochemicals, iron and steel, integrated bauxite and aluminum, pharmaceuticals, vehicle assembly and auto industry, chemical industries based on industrial salt, industrial starch from cassava, vegetable oils and fats, in particular oil palm, garments and textiles, and the manufacture of machinery, equipment, and machine component parts. Establishing industrial parks and special economic zones in partnership with the private sector to improve access to land, utilities, business support, and business support services. Promoting micro and small enterprise development in different sectors with a focus on high growth. Establishing and promoting industrial subcontracting, which directly links SMEs to the supply chains of large enterprises. Promoting value-added exports targeted at key markets, including but not limited to the US market under AGWA, the European market under the Economic Partnership Agreement, the African market under the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the ECOWAS market, and other destinations under existing bilateral trade agreements. Enhancing domestic retail trade, improving the business environment through comprehensive regulatory reforms aimed at reducing the cost of business, as well as minimizing delays in executing commercial transactions. And last but not the least, enhancing public dialogue by establishing institutionalizing a regular consultative platform between government and the private sector. In respect of the 1D1F program, there are currently 278 1D1F projects at various stages of implementation. 106 of these projects are in operation and 148 are under construction. The rest are pipeline projects. Out of the projects, 52 are indeed factories owned by organized youth groups, and 5 are factories owned by farmer-based groups. Mr. President, the various types of assistance available to 1D1F companies include but are not limited to the following: tax incentives, a 5-year corporate tax holiday, interest subsidy on loans granted to 1D1F companies by participating financial institutions, technical assistance services from experienced consultants recruited by the ministry, extension of infrastructure facilities to 1D1F project sites, including electricity, water, access routes, and access routes where necessary. Mr. President, since the start of the program, government has mobilized for 1D1F companies from participating financial institutions an amount totaling 2.69 billion cedis. This amount has been leveraged through the disbursement by government of an amount of 269 million to de-risk loans and support interest payments. Mr. Chairman, we believe that the 1D1F program is arguably one of the most innovative and comprehensive programs in industrial development ever implemented. The program will no doubt significantly enhance the capacity of the private sector in Ghana to take advantage of not only the African Continental Free Trade,
Right.
but also the other preferential trade agreements, such as the interim Ghana agreement, as well as the interim Ghana Economic Partnership Agreement and AGWA. Above all, the implementation of the 1D1F program in parallel with other components of the 10-point, such as the establishment of industrial parks, the establishment of one-stop business resource centers and technology solution centers in various districts, as well as the development of new strategic anchor industries, will no doubt position Ghana as a manufacturing hub, the new manufacturing hub for Africa. Mr. Chairman, as a result of the successful implementation of Ghana's automotive policy, Toyota Tsusho Manufacturing, commissioned in June 2021, to assemble this manufacturing plant to assemble Toyota and Suzuki brands in Ghana. The ministry is also facilitating the development of 4 new vehicle assembly plants in Ghana, namely Nissan, Kia, Hyundai, and Renault. They are expected to commence commercial production in 2022 under the Ghana Automotive Program. Mr. Chairman, the localization of the assembly industry is a key priority of government. And this is being pursued by promoting investment and technical partnerships between Ghanaian enterprises and international counterparts in component manufacturing. Mr. President, the ministry is also establishing an automotive development center to provide assistance in terms of vehicle financing, the regulation of vehicle standards, and to drive innovation in the manufacture of components and parts and accessories to supply local assemblers. An automotive industry council will also be established as a consultative body for stakeholders to effectively address issues of concern in the automotive industry. In addition to the above, the ministry will continue to support the private sector to invest in other strategic anchor sectors of the economy. Mr. President, a number of significant interventions being implemented to support the private sector in many other ways are worth mentioning. One is the restructuring and rebranding of the NBSSI into the Ghana Enterprise Agency, under which the GA will serve as an apex institution for MSME development in Ghana. A new MSME policy, a new MSME and entrepreneurship policy was also launched in 2021 and is being implemented. 67 business resource centers have been established in the district. These are one-stop enterprise support centers providing a full range of business development services, investment facilitation, and information services, as well as agency services for regulatory agencies, investment facilitation to entrepreneurs and business enterprises at the district level. Each BRC covers a number of districts in an operational zone. 190 business advisory centers are operating in 190 districts in the country. These BACs are located in districts without BRCs and act as satellite operational offices linked to BRCs. 5 new technology solution centers have also been established. The TSCs are designed to provide support to enterprises in the application of technology solutions, as well as the of machine. 26 existing rural enterprise facilities were upgraded into technology solution centers in 26 districts. A new national export development strategy designed to guide the development and growth of non-traditional export sector from 2020 to 2029 was launched. It's estimated that the size of the national NTE sector will rise from 2.8 billion, around 2.8 billion to 25 billion by the end of 2029. The African Continental Free Trade Area commenced trading in January 2021. And we are aware that the Chamber has been a very strong champion of the AFTA, and we encourage you to proceed as part of this part. The National AFTA Implementation Plan will be launched before the end of the year. But we must not forget opportunities under the AGWA. It's an opportunity to export 6,400 different products to the US market. And as we move forward, we must examine that as well. Mr. Chairman, currently the AFTA National Coordination Office and GEPA are working with 180 firms to assess and support their production and export requirements in order for them to harness the benefits under these market access opportunities, especially after. Mr. President, the Ghana COVID-19 Alleviation and Revitalization of Enterprises Support, Ghana Cares Program, would cater for our aspirations of a post-COVID economy by stabilizing, revitalizing, and transforming the economy. Building synergies between government action, promote local enterprises to harness opportunities is the only guarantee for building long-term resilience for sustainable growth, for creating jobs, and for building a prosperous Ghana beyond it. Mr. President, our collaboration with business associations is stronger than ever, and we appreciate profoundly your unwavering support and inputs into enhancing the business environment. We recognize that macroeconomic stability is a necessary but not a sufficient condition for industrial transformation. It's against this background that the ministry embarked on a comprehensive program known as the Business Regulatory Reform Program, which is implemented in partnership with stakeholders aimed at improving the business environment in the country. Through the BRR program, we have established an e-registry for business regulations, operationalized a business consultation portal, and are supporting 35 MDs to establish and operationalize regulatory reform units that will provide the required, by providing them the required training, equipment, and logistics. Mr. President, we encourage you to relentlessly champion more effective cooperation and dialogue among yourselves as private sector stakeholders through your representative associations. This will no doubt further enhance your effective participation in business environment reforms and the new public-private dialogue mechanisms put in place and coordinated by the ministry. Mr. President, on this fraternal note, let me congratulate you on this milestone, an occasion of your 45th annual general meeting. We look forward to the outcome of your deliberations and contributions to the well-being of your members, as well as the greater good of the private sector in Ghana. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nimo, for your speech. This is the 45th annual general meeting of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry under the theme, Building Strategies for a Resilient Economy Post-COVID-19, the Role of the Private Sector. Before we receive the closing remarks from the President of the Chamber, I noticed that we have the High Commissioner of the Republic of Namibia here with us. Sama Musavi, if you are here, I see you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming. We also have the Ambassador of the Republic of Togo. Thank you very much. And then the First Secretary of the Republic of the Embassy of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea. And this is a country where a lot of people want to go. The Republic of Rwanda, Teofil Rurangwa. We will see you after the event for some visas. We have Marjorie Abdin from FAGE, Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, if you are here. Marjorie, okay, she's gone out. All right, thank you very much for coming. And then the chief negotiator for AFTA at the Embassy of the Republic of Angola. Thank you very much. We are about coming to the end of the first session, which is the plenary session of the annual general meeting. And we want to take our closing remarks from the president, Mr. Clement Osei Abuako. Please give me a hand as he comes.
Thank you so much. You bear with me that all too soon, we are coming to the close of our AGM for the first part. And the theme was building synergies for a resilient economy post-COVID-19, the role of the private sector. The theme was chosen because the private sector has a key role to play in helping building a resilient economy. From the various presentations that we had, we realized that we all have to put our shoulders together to make sure that we achieve a resilient growth in our businesses. And it started with the human capital base, where we're discussing how to absorb the youth from the universities, help them with some training and internship to equip them into the future. Because if you don't have a good human capital base, you can't do anything in terms of production, etc. And they are the assets that we have as private sector to work with. And so what are we looking at it as private sector? I think that there were a lot of issues that were raised as to how we can also ask for some tax exemptions for our people, where some of the taxes could be also be used in some key sectors that we want to develop for the economy. And that one, it's our duty and our responsibility to make sure that we sit down with government and look at how best those tax exemption issues could be addressed. We also saw a part of our discussion that we have a high interest rate, for which we are also discussing a lot with the governor of Bank of Ghana and looking at how to resolve that issue. Though in the short term, it's not going to be easy, but as we see the economy growing within the last second quarter, we want to say that holding everything constant, we are going to have a good future for which we'll have our businesses will grow, for us to have excess funds to keep with us and even go for loanable funds that are not highly costly for us to be able to take advantage of the market. We also got to know that as private sector, industrialization is key to the success of the economy. And I want to urge all of us that we look at how we can be part of the industrialization drive set up by the government. And that is to say, in terms of getting raw materials, being part of the 1D, 1F, the government agenda, Ghana Beyond Aid, that's making sure that Africa, and for that matter, Ghana becomes the industrial hub of the entire continent. And with the inception of the coming in force of the AFTA means that there's a lot of potential ahead of us that we need to tap and make sure that we also take advantage of the market. The Ministry of Trade has also made us aware of some initiatives that have been put together to make sure that we succeed. I mentioned the Gncci, what they are supposed to do. I believe that the private sector will have to work hand in hand to take in charge of the economy. Those opportunities that are in here, for us as a chamber, will work very hard to build the capacity of our members to take advantage of the market. And that one, I want to assure you, we're going to work hard on that. Make sure we help you in your packaging, industrialization drive, have a lot of visits to make sure that wherever you have a constraint, we discuss it and move it to the doorstep of the lawmakers and make sure that you succeed together with us. We are looking at also trying as much as possible to build giants around the entire regions who championing most of the businesses and create jobs for most of our people. We will continue to dialogue with the government, other private sector leaders, and the individuals who have to work very hard to sustain our economy. On that note, I want to thank you for good presentation and attendance. God bless us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. We'll quickly take the vote of thanks from Mrs. Grace Jable, who is the head of Marketing at the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please give her a hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Moderator. As I told you at the back, I will make sure I go within time so that your record can be maintained. And on behalf of the President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Council, we want to express our profound gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alanche Martin, represented by the Chief of the Ministry, Mr. Patrick Nimo, for honoring this invitation and of course, always being with us whenever we need them. There hasn't been any major program that the Chamber has organized and invited them that they had turned their back on us. We are grateful to you. We also want to thank our immediate past presidents who have taken time to grace today's program in the persons of Honorable J. Shaba, as he is known. Said J. He's more popular with Shaba than Honorable Seth Ejeba, and the board chairman of Maslock. We want to also thank Nana Appiaje Duncan, also the immediate past president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for being here. Nana, thank you. We want to express our profound gratitude to the members of the diplomatic corps for the collaboration and always willing to work hand in hand with the chamber. And they have shown that by representing their various countries at this at this session. We are grateful to you. We thank all executives of the business community, those who were here in person and those who join us. And all with apologies, Nana, who from Private Enterprise Federation, for being with us online. We are grateful to you, Nana. We thank our friends from the media, our hosts. We bless God for our technical team, those who helped with the projections, and everybody who played one role or the other. On behalf of the President and the Council, we want to say a big thank you. And we want to thank our moderator who has helped us save time this morning, because we are really, if not save time, we are within time. And you have, I think that you must be acknowledged by the security agencies for honoring the protocol time of sitting for per time 2 hours. You have done well. Thank you, Mr. Ekuoko. Thank you all.
On behalf of the chamber, I want to thank you all again for coming. So the first session is ended. We want to stretch our legs a bit, and within the next 15 minutes, we'll take photographs. We want the members of the high table to line up in front to take the photographs. And then the regional chairman and the other regional chairman will join them. And then the council members will also join. And then all of us will join and take a group photograph. Stretch our legs for about 15 minutes. And then we'll quickly come back and have the business session. Where's Mr. Nimo? Council members, council members. Then all of us can join. All those who want to take a picture with the executive should stay in and join. Let's all come together and take a picture, please. Those who want to take a picture, please take a picture. Let's join and take a picture with the executives. Okay. I'll let you speak with you. Are you going now? No, 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 no. Around. I'll let you speak to me. Okay, pick it up. After peer review summit. Yes. You'll sit at the back. I'm sure he'll be outside. Find out from the desk outside, the session desk. But if you're not going here, let's talk about the organizing the S7. Yes. Hello. My trademark picture. My trademark picture. My trademark picture. I need it. Yeah, thank you so much. Mo fọ́run lẹ́kẹ̀lẹ́.